Hello, everyone. So, there has been some controversy with Fortnite for some price changes, and I want to, break it down in a way that I haven't seen anyone do it before. So, everyone right now is looking at this going, hey, this is bad. And no one, to my knowledge, is looking at the history of Fortnite prices and saying mathematically, here's why it's bad. So that's what I'm going to be doing. First off, this is like the tweet we got. This is Hypex, who I think is like a reliable source. At least they definitely have been in the past. And it's to the point where like this is just being taken as fact. And I think this quote actually is from Fortnite. So I mean, this is going around as like this is going to be the official price change in a couple of days. So I mean, we'll get into this, but it's like, all right, it's the same prices that we're currently paying, but less V bucks for the same amount of money. And then also, like my response to this initially was like, okay, that kind of stinks a little bit. Um, But all right, fine. And like I'm seeing like everyone going like, "Oh, this is horrible." I'm like, it doesn't seem that bad, but I'm just telling you, this is like the headspace I was in. Then moving on to this, this is where I got annoyed. Monthly crew V buck, the like, oh, the monthly crew V bucks granted is reduced a little bit. I'm like, oh, okay. Still, I don't care. Other passes will be 200 V bucks cheaper. Hey, that's good. But battle passes will cost 800 V bucks, which is good. They have always been 950, so I mean that's good. But only reward 800. No, I really don't like that. In the past, the V bucks granted have always exceeded the cost of the battle pass, so much so that you could do an entire battle pass and have enough V bucks left over to buy the next one. So you would have to not buy every single battle pass. You'd actually be able to buy a battle pass, buy the next one, and have some leftover V bucks. Just not a lot. This is. I mean, you could still technically continuously buy battle passes and only ever actually purchase one, but this is just a bit more punishing because you didn't have to like. This is basically saying you have to complete an entire battle pass, bonus rewards included, to get this amount. Whereas before, this would have been like within the 100 levels. So it's like, you have to grind a lot more to get something that you would have had a lot sooner. It, this just kind of doesn't feel right to me, but I'm like, alright, fine. I don't like this. I really. This is where I was mentally like, oh, I don't like that. Anyways, on to looking at this mathematically. First off, I wanted to show, like, well, this is everything else. This is. We started with. This was V Bucks in 2018. I'm pulling from these YouTube videos. This is Landon, uh, a viewer. He's buying a bunch of V Bucks and like I'm just showing. I could not find like a here's the history of Fortnite V Bucks, so I had to just YouTube search and find videos where people showed it. So I'm pulling V Bucks from 2018 to then 2020. This is like almost no one's seen this video. 10 views, 30 subscribers. Ethan Campbell, he's talking about Apple versus Epic, showing the V Bucks here. And then this is a screenshot I took earlier tonight, just showing current day. I think I'm going to say this is 2025, even though technically we are in 2026, and this is going to be the future changes. So, keeping that in mind, we go over to here. I made a spreadsheet where we can look at this. So, we got 2018. That would be this image. To 20, and this is the original prices. 2020 Epic versus Apple prices to then today, and I put this as 2025 because it was consistently 2025. Um, I put this as COVID inflation prices. That was my guess. Because I was just thinking, like, oh, what would have happened between 2020 and 2025? Yeah, it probably was like a hit of COVID inflation. I'm just guessing, though. Um, and then, yeah, 2026, I put Fortnite wanting to pay the bills. Um, so, I mean, we got 2018 V-Bucks. We got 1,000 V-Bucks was $10. 2,500 was 25. 6,000 was 60. And 10,000 was 100. And the metric I really want to focus on is V-Bucks for every $1 spent. So really, I'm just dividing V-Bucks to the price. And if there's any decimals, I'm rounding it down because, well, you can't have a decimal in your V-Bucks. So 2018, they made this nice and easy. Everything was 100 V-Bucks per $1 spent. And I guess the only reason you ever would have bought anything beyond this amount is just like, oh, hey, I happen to want to have more V-Bucks in my account. There was never originally a difference within the price range. And then 2020 comes around and Epic fights Apple, and suddenly, oh, hey, we don't have to have a cut being taken, so we can lower our prices. So, I mean, they also increase V-Bucks. They like increase and decrease V-Bucks. They like played around with these numbers a little bit. And they also they consistently lowered the prices by comparison. So then, I mean, we went from 100 V-Bucks per $1 in this category. You know, let me actually categorize this. Let's go with expensive. I'm gonna just middle line this. We'll go with very cheap. You know what? Let's not go with very cheap. Let's go with cheap. Fair amount. I don't know. Substantial amount. I don't know. I'm just like making up categories off of what I feel. Maybe there should be semi-substantial amount. I mean, that's kind of what it feels like, but just I'm writing it off of how I feel. Okay. Can I underline this? Yeah, sure. I can underline this. Okay. So I say this to say, all right, in the cheap category, we went from 100 V-Bucks for every dollar to 125 V-Bucks for every dollar. That's good. In the fair amount, we went from 100 V-Bucks for every dollar to 140 V-Bucks for every dollar. That's good. We went from 100 in substantial amount to 156. That's good. We went from 100 to 168. That's good. See where I'm going with this. Now, 2025, COVID happens. It takes a little bit of a hit. We're at 111. But hey, in the cheap category, that's still pretty good considering, like, I mean, it's less than 2020, but still more than 2018. That's still, okay. Same thing can be said in fair amount. Same thing can be said in substantial. Same thing can be said in expensive. We went down consistently in V-Bucks per dollar compared to 2020, but this was still consistently more V-Bucks per dollar than on launch. Like, so it was still better. But then you look at today, or not today, but like in a couple of days when they roll out this change, this is bad. This is actually bad. 88 V-Bucks per dollar. We are officially at a lower valuation than day one. Like, we had 100 V-Bucks per dollar, and now we're at 88. You got more bang for your buck in 2018 all the way. In the entire history of Fortnite, you would have had more bang for your buck until now. Until in a few days from now. So, I don't really think anyone should be buying from this category. I just don't think it's advisable. At least, like, in terms of bank, I mean, this is weird. This gets to be a weird argument. Because, like, technically, I said this earlier, it's like, in this era of 2018, the money you spent did not impact your V-Bucks per value. You always would have had 100 V-Bucks per dollar spent. After 2018, every single price change since has been the amount you spend would cause a certain bonus in V-Bucks. So then, this feels like it's not as worth it. But also, to exceed this 100 V-Bucks per dollar, if you really care about that, I think you'd be spending this much. And technically, the best, I guess, bang for your buck in terms of V-Bucks per dollar would always be, like, the most expensive amount, but also that's crazy. Like, no one is typically going to always be buying this. Oh, didn't mean to do that. But I think what's going to happen is people need to just think about, like, okay, what do I actually want to do with my money here in terms of Fortnite? I think the community, I mean, it's already having a fair amount of backlash. I could definitely see people choosing to not spend money to try to, like, vote with their dollar and just say, like, hey, you're not being clear with what's going on, and you've reached worse prices than on launch. And you've claimed that, like, you want to do things right by the community, which is why, hey, you did this, and you didn't completely ruin it, but now you definitely are. So, I hope that Fortnite will consider the fact that, like, this is a really downward trend. If they think that they can pump out skins, all these cosmetics, treat everything the same, and just constantly devalue it and make people spend more for the same items, there's definitely going to be a point where the community decides, no, it's not, the money isn't worth it. We won't spend money on it. You have to change what you're doing. That could happen. That could very easily happen. At the same time, there could just as easily be enough people spending that money anyways, and them not changing it, or changing it for the worse eventually. So, I don't know what the future of this is, but I wanted to make this video to show you, like, this is the actual difference comparatively. Because looking at this, just this post alone, in my mind, I was like, oh, that kind of sucks. It's kind of disappointing. And I was more upset about the Battle Pass thing than anything else. Um, but looking at this, seeing especially this number, I mean, at least everything here is over 100. But this one in particularly really annoys me because, come on, you went below 100. At least all of these I can say it was more V-Bucks per dollar than originally, but this isn't. Come on. So yeah, that was my rant, and also just me trying to inform everyone on this in a way that I haven't seen done before. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching, and I don't know, let me know what you think about this. That's it. Bye.